should also begin to come in, because there are a lot of taxes that could be brought in genuinely. Okay. There are a lot of import duties that could be brought in, and then our manufacturers are exporting their goods also, so they are also affected. It is not only those traders, but my word also for those our foreign brothers, our neighbors, is that they should begin to look for better businesses, genuine businesses to embark upon. Countries as well should ensure that those tracks through which Nigeria is being swindled, in quote, should also be closed up.
With your experience as a trade lawyer, give and take, let's look at the positives. If this subsists and our neighbors keep to the terms of the closure based on what the discussions are, you just said so, what's your projection maybe in the next 1 year in terms of the local economy, production wise and other goods?
I am seeing very good impact on the economy. It may not be Uhuru, but I think there are steps heading somewhere. Take, for instance, the rice you have almost overflowed. Okay, permit me, But, look at rice, for instance. The quantity of rice coming in from abroad now, from out of the country, is reducing. People are beginning to get the consciousness of eating local rice, which is even more, much, much better. I had the opportunity of traveling with one of the ministers, the past ministers of this country, to an Asian tiger country, Thailand, I want to say it. And we saw that some of the rice that we have brought into, that are being brought into this country, have stayed up to 10, 15 years in the shelves, in the warehouses. And they are chaffs. In fact, in their own countries, what they are using those to do is to feed their animals. Feed birds, feed. But we are consuming these things. And we are jostling over them. And killing our own farmers. Killing our own economy. And I felt we should be reasonable enough.
Okay. Well, what's your opinion regarding the mindset of Nigerians? Looking at you, you look pure Nigerian. The design, the material. What's your opinion about consuming, wearing, and utilizing Nigerian-made products by Nigerians?
I have told my way. Anybody who wants to be a Nigerian should be a Nigerian. This background is green. Each time I look at green, I remember I'm a Nigerian. And therefore, everything inside me out should be Nigeria. I should represent. And one beautiful thing that, sometimes annoys me, it is beautiful, but it yet annoys me, is that each time I wear whatever, I design these things, I wear them. This is complete Nigerian, including my shoe here. So each time I wear this and I go out, people will be, hi, they'll be admiring. How did you make this? Where did you make it from? Look at the women. Look at the beautiful, adire and all of that they wear. Ankara, so. Once they wear, the people outside there, go to Europe, go to America, go to other countries, they'll be admiring them. But where am I going to now be spending 100,000 naira to wear, one name, and then starve myself, the little money I'll be using to eat and feed some people, and then the economy, the jobs that should be created, and everything will be booted. Come on, it doesn't make any sense at all. We need to grow our economy. We need also to be proud of who we are. I can only be a bastard, when I am sorry for using that word, if I don't recognize the name of my father. And my father's name is Nigeria. And I think I need to defend that.
Before we wrap up, what's your position regarding ECO, which has some samples of the notes have been flagged a few days ago?
Well, that's a good omen. That's a good omen. And that's the reason also why Nigeria should be preparing. Because one day, whether we like it or not, it will happen. These are signs. And so, that's also another sign that perhaps Nigeria intelligence community and security community is also seeing that they had to close the borders a bit and see that now that we are heading towards a single currency, don't forget we have a common external tariff that's already running. Don't forget we have ECOWAS trade liberation scheme running since 1979 and 93 renewed. Now, don't forget also that we have the AFCFTA coming. So now we have all of these regional policies. What they are waiting is towards a common market. And common market requires common currency. And this common currency will come in. That particular, impediment to the market in terms of currency will be removed. And therefore, you will have influx of goods moving in and out. And if that is the case, therefore, if we don't get it right now, we may be shouting and crying and weeping. Okay. That will be increased lamentation for Nigeria. But again, there is still hope for Nigeria.
So what's your final word for the critics of this government stand?
I am not...
Can we whip them into understanding?
I am not working with government. I am not a government worker. And I hold no brief for anybody. And therefore, I stand and I say what I want to say to the best of my knowledge. And as somebody who has been on this, my advice to critics, they may not be critics. They may be talking out of, ignorance. I think that we need to watch out first before we condemn. I need to be alive before I even do business. When you allow, everything to pass, the borders open, unregulated, and then the two brothers or three brothers are not living healthy within the tenets of the agreement that they have signed, it's jeopardy, not only to that economy, but to me as a human being, as a person who has an endorsement on that community. Therefore, I think it's important for us to understand that what Nigeria has done now to close up the border, at least for a moment, is to get things right. Get things right in agriculture, get things right in manufacturing, and also get things right policy-wise, preparatory to creating jobs internally, so that we can also begin to patronize our locally made products. Okay. Reduce importation. That is where it is to. And again, we need to be alive. These bullets flying up and down, I don't know how much we are producing here. Coming in from outside, are they keeping us alive or trying to kill us, to destroy us? If care is not taken, if these borders are not closed or manned effectively, these bullets, these arms coming in, when it starts, we will forget the business we are talking about.
Thank you so much, Ken Okoha, National President of the National Association of Nigerian Trade. It's nice talking with you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much. That's the package on Diplomatic Ties today. Just time will tell, and like my guest said, a trade lawyer for that matter, if we have patience, in a matter of months or years, Nigeria will be there for the world to see. Thanks for watching. On behalf of all of us, bye-bye. Welcome to Diplomatic Ties.
And we're doing our best to make it as convenient and easy as possible for prospective students.
What we can do is just support the efforts of West African countries to integrate, to organize a better regional, political and economic integration.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Diplomatic Ties, building friendship and enhancing oneness among nations. Watch Diplomatic Ties on NTA International.
Welcome to Nigeria, a fascinating country. Take a trip through one of the most beautiful places on earth. A journey of discovery. A unique opportunity to get in touch with unspoiled nature. Enjoy your time in a place that offers something for everyone. A land of beautiful contrasts. An experience you won't forget. Relax, explore, discover. Fascinating Nigeria.
Hello and welcome to Local Color. Today on the program, we shall be looking at African arts and crafts. My name is Bello Boluatife.
Once you are conscious of what you are doing in producing a particular a particular work, be it paintings, be it beadwork, be it carving, be it batik or textile, let's generalize it now, and you bring it out beautifully, it's difficult to reproduce it. If you can reproduce your work, it then means you are not an artist, because artwork is supposed to be perfect. Once it is perfect, it's difficult to bring another, a second one to be as perfect as the first one. So even when you produce two things of similar characteristics, they can never be the same. There must be differences in them.
African arts and crafts have existed since the origin of the people. In history books, African arts dates back to 500 BC, when Nok culture was in existence. African rock arts is confirmed to be 6,000 years old. Ancient Egyptian arts, which incorporate hieroglyphics, the beginning of formal writing, also has a long history. Also worthy of mention is the Nsebede, the secret language of the Ekpe society in Calabar, which dates back to the origin of the Efik people. All these, however, cannot be said to be the true origin of arts and crafts in Africa. Arts is an innate thing in the African. The culture, tradition, norms, myths, and beliefs have arts embedded in them.
Right from inception, when a man is created, his artwork is also with him because it's part and parcel of his life.
The original home of the African, the huts, are artistically designed. The clubs used for hunting, the baskets used for carrying goods, water storage pots, pottery, wooden and calabash plates for eating, native wooden and calabash spoons are all an integral part of the African arts, as these form part of the day-to-day living. Simply put, Africa and arts and craft are synonymous. The problem with African arts before now had been an inferiority complex created by foreign writers who knew next to nothing about African culture, and so created scenarios of idol worshipping and heathen representation in our original, unadulterated artworks. Today, however, the purity of African arts is expressing itself. The originality and uniqueness of African arts works stand on its own. The skills portrayed in the production of these artworks show the ingenuity and expertise of the makers. The aesthetics of African arts and crafts have been a case for study. In the contemporary African society, master craftsmen and women are emerging. Unlike before, when works could not be linked to their original creators, the modern African traditional artist exhibits great artworks which attract appreciation devoid of race. One such artist is Nike Ekundaye.
When you talk of indigo in Nigeria and in fact Africa, Nike is number one. She has this ambition to keep the old tradition going. To keep the old tradition going. And that is why she's so particular about the indigo dye. That is what makes her work unique. Because the indigo is something outside the European dye. Natural. And that is what is thrilling the Western world.
She's actually a renowned textile artist known world over. She's won many awards, but she has been doing paintings right from the onset alongside with her textiles work. So that side of her art has somehow been silent, though it has been acknowledged in some write-ups in articles, in maybe on the internet, but most academicians don't really know too much about her paintings, which she has been doing. She's also done collaborative painting with Tola Wewe, who is a renowned Nigerian painter.
Art gallery and exhibitions used to be associated with towns and cities. Recently, however, these have been brought to the rural community. This innovation has provided an appropriate setting for African arts as the natural setting. The ambience and local color will generate a better sense of appreciation of the works. Such as exhibition will be a prop to some native cultural activity which exists in all African societies. This was the case in Ogidi community during the New Yam Festival, as Nike Ekundaye, along with other great artists, had an arts exhibition. It was a major digression from the regular city arts exhibition, as visitors from Africa and beyond savored the nature in the African. from the colorful artistic performances on the grounds of the New Yam Festival to the expressionist paintings and crafts in the exhibition hall.
You call it Olaga. It's Olaga. Okay, we they go outside. They go Ilorin, go another Abuja, Yara, even though Kaba. We take two weeks now to learn before we know how to work.
Nǹkan tí mo mọ̀ ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí eégún wa yẹn Àgbò is our culture nítorí pé mo dáyé wá bá ni bàbá tó bí mi lọ́mọ ó dáyé wá bá ni gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe ń wáyé kò sí àkọ́kọ́ tó mọ̀ àfi Ọlọ́run nìkan ló mọ̀ tó ìgbà tí bàbá mi ń ṣe olójẹ́ bí aṣojú eégún Àgbò tó ìgbà tó dẹ̀ kú mo tún take over mo tún wà nínú ẹ̀ gbogbo tó wá fẹ́ ṣe ní community gẹ́gẹ́ bí Àgbò wọ́n á pè mí ṣùgbọ́n àti ọ̀run ló ti ń wá.
Surely, African arts and crafts live in the African. The designs in the apparels, the headgear on regular function appearances, or the colorful body paintings, the unique props and instruments with matching dexterity in performances all point to this fact.
This is local color. African art, as you have seen, is very unique. Stay with us and find out more.
An expository of African way of life is in Nike's gallery. There is pottery and ceramics, beadworks, basketry, dolls, metalwares. This artist has traversed the various African arts and craft forms, including music, standing her out as an icon among contemporary African creative artists. The cultural troupe nurtured by Nike could thrill any crowd the world over. This arts exhibition is Nike's first in her home community, Ogidi, in Kogi State, North Central Nigeria. According to Nike, the works are a fabrication of real-life situations and experiences. They comprise a marriage of the past and the present, and the artworks are ancient and ancestral lifestyles immortalizing the African heritage. Beauty of form has become an overriding factor, and originality and innovation could be seen in this exhibition. Two artists who displayed their works on this exhibition alongside Nike are artists who have made a mark in the arts world. Ngozi Akonde, a leading figure of the Female Artists Association of Nigeria, is of Igbo stock, married to an Ogidi man. She says the theme of the exhibition is back to the roots, which coincides with the essence of the New Yam Festival recently revived in the community.
The exhibition is part of the events happening here in Ogidi land. The theme of the exhibition is Back to My Roots. I am Ngozi Akonde, an Igbo lady married to an Ogidi man, Mr. Thomas Akonde. And Nike, Chief Nike Okundaye, is a native of this land and married outside this land.
So you can now understand why the theme, Back to My Roots. That's the first time Nike is having an exhibition in her own homeland. And this is my first time also having an exhibition in this land after 25 years of marriage. So we felt that we are part and parcel of this community, that it would be a good idea for us to feature our talent and handwork during this Ogidi Festival, Ogidi Day Festival, because right here, the people know us, but they don't actually know our worth. It's true that Mominike has a gallery here, but the people have not actually seen her work as a painter. She paints. She is more known for her Adire works. But we decided that during this 2015 Ogidi Day, we should have an art exhibition as part of the events for this year. This is Miss Media Art. Here you have a cloth. This one you have wood back. Like, then you have oil or acrylic and canvas. So when one or more than one material is used for a particular work, that's when you call it a mixed media work. The title of this work is Survival. Survival is like, this is a woman, a stylized woman, and her handwork is to weave. So this is part of the clothes she has woven, and she needs to sell this work to be able to feed her family. This Miss Media work is in series, like my handwork, her handwork feeds the home. And we realize that women, most of the time, are the ones that engage in handworks to be able to, turn them into resources that could take care of the family. The husband goes to work or maybe goes to the farm. Most of the time, the woman is either engaged in knitting, weaving, crocheting, tie-dye, and she takes this to the market to sell. And it generates money, and she uses it to assist the husband. So her handwork feeds the home. The theme of this, the title of this painting is The Broken Calabash. This painting was used for an exhibition to stop sexual abuse on women in conflict. You know of crises in West Africa, you talk of Sudan, you talk of Somalia, you talk of the Boko Haram. And women suffer. You are aware of the Chibok girls. Some of them are virgins that have been disvirgined. The broken calabash is that intact of a woman that has been broken through rape, through abuse. So this woman, this painting reflects on what women go through, the abuse women go through in conflicts. The broken calabash. The title of this work is Prayer is the Answer. You're aware of the challenges we went through, or we are still going through with explosions, killings, and the challenges we are facing in this country. And it was with that particular feeling I had that I felt that we need to pray. We need to pray. So this hand is in supplication to God to come to the aid of this country, that all the challenges we are facing, that God should come to our aid. You find out that in most West African countries, like the printed fabrics are done by women. If you go to Côte d'Ivoire, If you go to Ghana, the kente works are done by mostly women. The basket weaving are done by mostly women. And they generate money through this handwork and they use it to assist the family. So that's the essence of this painting, and it's also a mixed media work. The title of this work is Heal Up My Wounds. This is bra decoration. Bra decoration. And this cereal, they are in cereals. A kind of feeling I have for people suffering from breast cancer. So this series of artworks is a kind of consolation for people suffering from cancer. To be able to tell them that there's someone out there that feels their pain, that is feeling, that has that feeling of, sympathy. I won't call it sympathy because I know the God Almighty knows why. But that somebody is feeling the same pain they are feeling through the production of this artwork. So the artwork is in series, but this is the only one featuring in this exhibition.
Ngozi says African female artists are making their mark and will soon be on the driver's seat of arts.
Our women, after marriage, they don't practice this profession. We belong to the bigger association, that's the Society of Nigerian Artists. But we find out that we are being swallowed by the men. And when events come out, if we have events that involve the Society of Nigerian Artists, very few women participate. We now said, right, let's form the women wing of the SNA. And we came up with the Female Artists Association of Nigeria. And I tell you that we have more than 200 members. Anytime we have exhibition, these women come out. They exhibit their works. They paint every year. So every year they are ready and looking forward to our annual exhibition. And these women have also been encouraged. They've been having solo exhibitions because when they come out to see what other people do, other women do, they're encouraged. The ones that are lazy, they are gingered up to be able to go back to their studio to practice. You can see somebody like Mominike, she's a workaholic, she works. So why not me at my age? So we encourage them, we have workshops, we have seminars that we bring out these women and encourage them to paint and exhibit and participate in exhibitions.
The human figure has always been the primary subject matter for most African arts. This is confirmed in the works of Sorsen, an upcoming artist who says every work of art is an expression of individual, even though one could be influenced by the works of predecessors.
My works basically in stylistic outlook, that's style when we talk about how they appear. You could characterize them as post-impressionist paintings. And in post-impressionism, what you see, basically, the features you see, they're more like lines, vibrant colors. Then they deal with the structure of the painting, how it looks like. Because post-impressionism took after impressionism. Impressionism was after capturing the immediacy of light, the momentary sensation of light on forms. I've always been interested in the female species. I love women. Maybe you call me a womanizer or feminist. Why I did this, I've observed women for a long period of time, and I've discovered that they are the most self-conscious species that God created. It's only a woman you see her on a bike with her mirror trying to check herself, and so this is a young lady trying to dress up herself to look good. The work is titled Frenzied Tunes. So what I did, it's a semi-abstract composition of figures women I saw from northern Nigeria dancing. So I needed to like get that vibration, that feel of excitement. That's why I have these broken lines connecting each other. The work is titled Introspection. This is a young lady who was engaged in self-taught. Why I did this is a lot of issues that get us entrapped in life. If we really engage in thinking, critical thinking, we'll be able to like solve most of these issues. Here, these are some of the issues going on the lady's mind, portrayed here with lines and strokes.
I was born into the art, and at the early age, after I lost my mother at the age of 6, my great-grandmother taught me, and that is how I become an artist today. So my direct background, a lot of the people in this village, you will see them behind their yard. They do indigo, they do hand woven, which we call ashoke. Then they do blacksmith. Most of this recycle is from Obidi. They will go to Kaba to buy the thrown away. So the art lives in my village.
This painting basically represents like all the new yams in the community, and as a symbol of the new yam is something called new growth, basically. So I think that's what the new yams represent. And my mom did this artwork 2 years ago. This is made out of beads. So basically, she just like picked all the beads of like different colors, then painted over them. And these are all the people in the market. So this is basically like a market scene and essence of yam, basically.
This is a recycle from turning trash to treasure. And the pipe represents the hand of the... And this one is a show how you can put trash and turn it to treasure. So this is carrying somebody at the back, and this is him. And all the other thing is having there, they are all part of the decoration of motorcycle that he has put into pieces. So now taking the bicycle to go home. So I call it motorcycle accident. This work is done by Adeola Balogun, and you can see the map of Africa with the bottle tops. That is Africa for you. And this one is spoon to represent the spider. And all these, they are the thing from the fan, big air conditioned fan. So that is what you are seeing. But the African with the tire, people use tire to pollute the air, and the only way they can stop it is to put it to do artwork.
Modern African arts, like those on this exhibition, tend to favor three-dimensional works over two-dimensional ones. The uniqueness in Nike's artworks has generated interest in arts appreciation masters. Dorcas Ibrahim says Nike's arts is turning trash to treasure. This fresh artist expression is what Dorcas wants to explore on the works of Nike Kundayo in a PhD research study.
In my study, I'm out to highlight the painting career of Nike Davis Okundaye alongside with her textile work. She's what we call a self-trained artist, because although she was workshop trained at Oshogbo in the early 1960s, but she developed her painting skills herself, and she has evolved a particular style. There are about 3 styles that I've noticed about her work. One of them is that in which she does textile patterns at the background of her work, which is quite unique. And those textile patterns, batik and adire patterns, she painstakingly brings them out in those works. It's quite unique. And then she's done some other works that bring out Nigerian traditional culture in her work. And the paintings are really rich. And that is why she's been involved in so many exhibitions, both in Nigeria and overseas. So I think her painting needs to really be brought to the limelight.
The taboo to the African female in masks and masquerades seems to be smoothly given way without the axiomatized consequences laid down in ancestral myths. This is a product of Nike's expression in her works, Crafts, and the African Theatre. The designs of her adire are decorative clothes worn as ceremonial garments which transform the wearer into a living sculpture. As she moves African arts back to the roots, it is believed that original forms will be preserved and young Africans will keep the arts and crafts original in Africa alive.
This is all we can take on the program today. My name is Bello Bolatife. Hope you enjoyed the talk.
Hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
The Nigerian economy derives a lot of boost from the motion picture industry, which we all call Nollywood. And in celebrating what the individuals that hold this industry together do, we welcome you to Nigerian Movies Today. I am Ololade Adeniji Adele. Let's set the ball rolling on the show today as we bring you our movie of the week.
Hey, madam, can you stop with the shouting, though? You are not the only one in this elevator. Stop giving me a migraine. Oh.
Our movie of the week is a sophomore feature film from the stables of Ant Hill Productions, which explores the strength inherent in every individual and which often only comes to the fore when met with overwhelming challenges. A 2019 comedy drama, Elevator Baby is a story which revolves around a young man who battles his inner demons and a pregnant lady with hidden secrets. Written and directed by Ahigbe Ilozibe, this movie parades a cast of Toyin Ayimaku Ajayemi, Timini Egbuson, Yemi Sholade, Shafi Bello, Sambasa Nzeribe, Ijoma Anebo, Ufort, Jessica Obasi, Brother Shaggy, Blessing Onwukwe, and a host of others.
He has been under a lot of pressure lately.
You know that boy does not like me. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. I'm not putting my hand in this man's vagina. No.
Produced by Nia Kimolayo and Victoria Temere Akuyobi, Elevator Baby centers around Dario Williams, a privileged young man with a fiery temper, and his encounter with Abigail Kuforiji, a pregnant semi-literate woman with a secret, with whom he gets stuck in a faulty elevator. Abigail is forced into emergency labor while stuck in the elevator, and Dare is left with no choice but to deliver the baby himself in order to save both mother and child. This experience brings him face to face with his inner demons. On the show now, it's time for us to meet our exclusive guest, someone whom I'll want to call an award-winning actor, an author, a singer, also a model.
Let's meet our exclusive guest on the show today. Our exclusive guest is an actor, a model, film producer, singer, author, and humanitarian. Born on 3rd March 1986 in Ghana to a Lebanese father and a Liberian-Ghanaian mother, Juliet Ibrahim was raised and spent her childhood in Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Lebanon. She had her primary education in Lebanon before proceeding to Ivory Coast for her secondary education. The first child of 4 children, Juliet acquired further education at the Ghana Institute of Languages, where she took studies in English, French, and Spanish. She also studied marketing, advertising, and public relations at the Ghana Institute of Journalism. A polyglot who speaks English, French, and Spanish fluently, Juliet Ibrahim started a career as an editorial and runway model in Ghana. She made her acting debut in 2005 in a film titled Crime to Christ. She, however, came to limelight when she starred in her first Nollywood film titled Yankee Boys. She has since featured in over 100 films, some of which include In the Eyes of My Husband,